Welcome back to Yankee Baseball on Prime. Emmanuel Barbari with you. It's been a struggle for the Yankee offense over this 5-game losing streak. There are so many baseball cliches that get tossed around when an offense is going through it, trying to snap a skid. But I caught up with Yankee manager Aaron Boone, and he thinks about it way more simply.
These are those times when you go through it for a week where you're scuffling to score some runs. Think smaller. We talk about that a lot. I feel like the sport talks about that a lot as far as, the buzz phrase is pass the baton and things like that. But really just focusing on having quality at bats, because that's what ultimately going to allow you to be, a good offense is putting together quality at bats, because you're not always going to get rewarded, but the more quality at bats you have, those are when over time you're gonna be able to have good offensive performances. So, been a tough week. We need to get better at creating opportunities, and hopefully we can do that tonight.
It doesn't get easier for an offense when you're facing someone like Tarek Skubal, but Aaron Boone went on to say the Yankees could benefit from the Goldie show like they saw last week. Michael, we'll send it back to you.
Well, thank you, Emmanuel. So the Yankees have their work cut out for them. They're trying to stop a 5-game losing streak, Paul, and they're trying to stop it against Tarek Skubal. So their right-handed lineup has had some problems, especially you don't have Judge in there, so that doesn't lengthen it as much as it should. And, again, they have their work cut out for them.
Well, Skubal's the kind of guy that even if your team's hitting well, can shut you down. Yep. And when you're struggling, that even compounds things. But we saw Goldschmidt over there laughing. I mean, he's fairly comfortable. He's got 4 career home runs. But get your laughs in now, because it's going to be a tough night for the Yankee hitters trying to figure out Tarek Skubal.
Now, you look at, Rice is struggling, Goldschmidt over his last 12, and Bellinger has the night off. And I asked Aaron Boone today, is there a contagion when you go into slumps where guys are trying to do too much? Did you sense that?
I think there is, where you hear, you see what's happening on the field, and then you try to take it upon yourself, and then you see other people struggling, so you try to take it a little bit more on yourself, and it does kind of snowballs. It's one big hit away from a big inning. You do have to really start thinking small. I like what Aaron Boone said pregame. And it's not about winning a series. It's about winning tonight. Win the first inning, win the second inning, win this at bat. You really have to backtrack and take it a lot smaller than, we'll get them next week.
And if you think about it, Paul, it could even be more micro than that, where win the at bat, win the pitch. And if you do that, then you put together a good at bat, and you might be on base.
Yeah, and there were times where, that's what you do. You take every single pitch, and as the game goes on, you figure out, this is the way I need to play right now. And you do. You win certain battles. If you're hitting, you win. If you're in the field, the way the Yankees have been playing defense, it's concentration every play now, because we've seen so many unearned runs, and you can't do that tonight with a back-to-back Cy Young guy on the other hill.
And you also have a situation where it puts a lot of pressure on the starters. The starters have been brilliant all year, but now they realize if they give up a run or two, they're really behind the 8 ball, and I think it's affected the starters a bit. It has not gotten to Slipper, though.
Well, he's just he's found a groove in what he does, because he really doesn't deviate from it. I mean, it's fastball, cutter, sinker. Everything's hard. Skubal, on the other hand, will use a really good change to go with his high 90s fastball. But I always look forward to doing a game with Slipper on the mound, because you know what you're going to get. You're going to get a lot of strikes, hopefully strikeouts for the Yankees tonight, and you just got to stay in the game early. The Yankees have been getting behind, and when you're struggling and you're behind, you start pressing.
What was the mindset when you would play and you'd be facing a Pedro Martinez? Were you defeated, or were excited about going up against the best?
Well, again, it's about your pitcher keeping you in the game early, and knowing that you're staying close for one big hit, or you get to the bullpen. That's why we used to always get to the bullpen in Pedro's outings. That's the only success we had when you have a great pitcher out there.
All right, so the Yankees take the field, led by Cam Slipper, and this is the Tiger lineup that he's going to face. Kevin McGonigal leads off, then Dylan Dingler catches him at second. Kerry Carpenter in right. Riley Green did not play yesterday. He's in left field cleaning up. Colt Keith, the DH. Spencer Torkelson at first base will bat 6th. The bottom third of the order, Zach McKinstry at short, James Outman in center, and Hao Yu Lee is the second baseman, and he is going to bat 9th. They're facing that guy in his 18th start at even 100 innings, 118 strikeouts, amazing, just 20 walks. for Cam Schlittler. So let's take a look at the pitcher scouting report.
Well, don't change a thing. I mean, he continues to lead the American League in all the pitching categories, including ERA at 1.62. And he's got an unusual formula. We talked about it. You just don't see a lot of starting pitchers who throw over 90% of fastballs. I understand there's 3 different types of it, but just comes after it with hard stuff. And Philly starter, no, not for the Philadelphia Phillies. That's where the All-Star game is this year. At this pace, way he's pitching, he should be the American League starter in the All-Star game.
Take a look at the defense behind him. It's a little bit different. It's their righty lineup against the lefty. Schumann's in left. Spencer Jones, one of the lefties that will face Skubal. He's in center. Jason Dominguez in right. In the infield, Rosario, Volpe, Caballero, and Goldschmidt third to first. Ali Sanchez behind the plate. Ben Rice, the DH. Great shot from up above. Our drone patrolling the skies of the Bronx. And we are moving closer to baseball here at Yankee Stadium. The Tigers are 36-49, and the Yankees are 48-36. Home plate umpire is Mike Estabrook. Lance Barrett at first, Malachi Moore at second, and the crew chief Alfonso Marquez is over at third. McGonigal's ready. Schlittler working from the first base side of the rubber. He's ready. And let's do it here in the Bronx. First pitch upstairs, we're underway. Tigers are 6.5 games out of a wild card spot despite being 13 games under 500. Wild card, the third wild card, very forgiving to teams that get off to bad starts. Oh, it's foul back, 98 miles an hour, back to the screen, 1-1. Let's check out what Mike Estabrook's about. He's neutral, 57 calls challenged, 35 overturned, more low strikes, fewer high strikes. Mike's in his 21st major league season. Foul back.
Well, nothing new, Michael. A lot of fastballs up in the strike zone. Nothing put in play yet.
McGonigal essentially tied with Bobby Witt with a 4.3 WAR. On base percentage of .397 for McGonigal. Strike 3. Looking at a sinker right down the middle, 1 away.
Well, the reason you freeze on this pitch is the other ones were 4-seamers. This ball's right at his hip and this kind of runs back. You see that hip start to give a little bit. I mean, it's a separate pitch, but it's still a fastball. That is the gift of Cam Schlittler.
Here's Dylan Dingler. He's having an all-star level campaign behind the plate for the Tigers. And a strike. Schlittler just has an aura about him, a way. He doesn't seem like he gets rattled. Always in command, always in control. Never too high, never too low.
You know, the old cliche of, act like you've been there before. I mean, if you look at him, he looks like he's been in the major leagues as a Cy Young winner for 5 years. I mean, he acts like he expects to do this. And you feel it as a hitter when you're up there. You feel it as an out. You feel it as a fan. He just has confidence. And why wouldn't you with what he's done so far this year?
High fly ball. Jones over. 2 outs. Hey, bottom line, Paul, when you do something at the highest level with the most pressure that you can imagine, and you do it well like he did against the Red Sox in an elimination game in the playoffs, any doubt about your talent has to be washed away. 8 innings, 12 strikeouts, no walks in a game the Yankees had to win to continue their season.
Right, it only helped him. I mean, that might have been a career-changing outing if you look at it. I mean, he was put in a position where a lot of people doubted if he could take it. Well, he took it and ran with it.
And there's a strike to Kerry Carpenter.
First curveball of the night, and that's the amazing thing, where you can throw all your fastballs and still have the ability to throw the curveball for a strike first pitch.
Driven out into center field and deep. Going back is Jones. He's on the track, and he makes the play. Takes a home. Oh, no, it went over the wall. He did not make the play. And a home run for Carpenter.
Well, he got me too, Michael. He got to the wall, and with his height, he had plenty of time. I don't know if this ball went in his glove and came out, or if he just whipped it, but he was there. Yeah, it was in his glove and then came out. And that's a lot of times when you hit the wall, it jars you just enough to shake that ball loose. Boy, he played that well. Didn't get rattled right in the middle of his glove. Don't even know if the ball was out of the ballpark until it left his glove.
Pitch upstairs.
It probably was, but again, he got to the wall, did everything perfect. And with his height, was not that tough, but it just came in and out of the glove.
And you can see how astonished he was. He could not believe he did not come up with that. Looked in the glove, looked around. Oh, my goodness. Two and one.
It's a cutter, and the cutter's the ball that needs to be in on the hands. That had a lot of the plate, which allowed him to hit it hard. Really amazing how well he knew where he was to get to the wall without crashing into it, not having to sprint at the end.
That one's driven deep to right. There it goes. Back-to-back home runs for the Tigers. Carpenter and Green. And just like that, the Tigers are up 2-0.
Well, Green got the night off last night, having a tremendous year offensively. That's his 10th home run. And big year last year. And all of a sudden, Cam Slittler, 2 long ones here in the first inning.
Kind of stunning the way he's pitched. 1.62 ERA. He's given up 2 home runs, 2 solo shots in the first inning.
A two-seamer that was up in the strike zone. Usually two-seamers you want down, kind of hip high and below.
0-1 on Colt Keith.
The two-seam dragging it back towards the middle of the plate, but up in the strike zone, which allows Green to really get under it and just launch it. You see these guys really locked in on fastballs, hips opening up quick, which allows anything out over the plate. You can get the bat head to it.
Now look from home plate umpire Mike Estabrook.
And Cam Slittler knows where this one's going. Just you know, you don't give up a lot of them, but when you throw that hard, you're going to give up some long ones once in a while. Detroit, not one of the better teams on high velocities. They've caught up to a couple fastballs today, so you might want to see Slittler from now on start to mix that curveball in a little bit more to get them off of the fastballs.
The 2-2. That knocked down Slittler, and it goes into center field for a base hit. He's very fortunate that he did not get smoked with that. So Keith with a single.
Yeah, this ball was smoked. You're right, Michael. No reaction time whatsoever. And Slittler's having a first inning that you haven't seen all year. Balls hit this hard. Watch this, right back at him. Wow. You know, you look at Detroit, and now they're really starting to swing the bat well as a team. We saw it last night. It's just a team that you look at the record, it really doesn't match. I mean, they have great starting pitching. You'll see one of their best, obviously, tonight. But it's just, if they hit, they've got to be in a division.
Boy, that's scary. Oh, 0-2. Shows you what a delicate balance this game is. If the ball stays in Jones's glove, it's a 1-2-3 inning.
Yeah, you're shaking hands, high-fiving after a great play, and you're at the plate. But now you're, 10, 12 extra pitches and 2-0 lead.
Zach McKinstry on deck. 1-2 on Torkelson. Foul ball. And the pitch. Fouled away.
Really weird. After McDonough with the strikeout, you have not seen a lot of swing and misses, which you're accustomed to. Cam on the mound.
Inside with the cutter.
All of a sudden, this is his 26th pitch. I mean, this is an exhausting first inning.
Another foul ball off of Sanchez. The only time that we've really seen Schlittler struggle, sometimes against the Blue Jays, who foul off a lot of pitches. They spoil pitches, and so far that's what the Tigers are doing.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I was thinking that game we did last year where they just wore him down by fouling off 2-strike pitches and then getting base hits. But, when you're throwing close to 30 pitches in the first inning as a hard thrower, you start to lose a little bit before you can get back to the dugout.
Another foul ball.
Throwing that one curveball, which was a strike one pitch. I think you're going to have to show them that pitch a little bit more than you're accustomed, just because they're on your fastball. Some at bat here. I mean, he's fouled off tough pitch. That was 98 miles an hour right under his hands.
This is going to be the 10th pitch of the at bat and the 30th pitch of the inning. Left field and deep, going back. Schumann, track, wall, see ya. They are touching up Cam Schlittler. A 2-run home run for Torkelson, and it is 4-0 Detroit.
It's one of the better at-bats that I've seen all year, and you keep fouling pitches off hoping that you'll make a mistake, and there was the cut. And if it's not thrown well, it just kind of spins, and it gives the batter a good opportunity to hit it, and he hit it out. And that's just right down the middle with no bite.
Well, this is not what the Yankees had on their prescription plan for this game. As the Tigers come out with 3 home runs against Schlittler in the first inning.
Those first innings started off with the strikeouts. You're thinking, here we go again. Well, all of a sudden, they put on their hitting shoes last night. I mean, they had tremendous at-bats, hitting the ball from line to line. Home runs, situational hitting. It just, their record does not make sense to me because they're a better lineup than that, and they're in a division where they should be able to compete.
1-1. School's getting ready to go out there with a lead. The would-be robbery by Spencer Jones would have been a 9-pitch inning. And there's some action in the Yankee bullpen. Foul ball after foul ball. This is how close it was to not seeing all of this unfold. It's in the glove, but then it's jarred out by hitting the wall.
Yeah, that's not a snow cone either. That ball was all the way in the pocket. I was kind of anxious to see that move on and see how much he did hit the wall.
Now you get concerned because you don't want this kid throwing 40 pitches in an inning, and he's closing in on that at 35. Popped up, shallow center field. Volpe going back. Jones coming in. Jones makes the catch. And down goes. But 3 home runs. Career high against Schlittler. It's 4-0 Tigers. Yankees coming back. America. Top of the first inning. Cam Schlittler comes into the game with a 1.62 ERA and gives up 4 runs, 3 home runs in the top of the first inning, and that gives the reigning 2-time Cy Young Award winner Tarek Skubal a lead to work with. Now the Yankees hit 3 home runs against him in Detroit. Let's see what they do tonight. Paul Goldschmidt leads off, then Rosario and Rice, cleaning up Jason Dominguez, Anthony Volpe, and Jose Caballero. Spencer Jones, Max Schumann, and Ali Sanchez round up the lineup. And they'll be facing Tarek Skubal, 3-4, 3.32. You see the numbers. Now let's hear the scouting report.
Well, 2 in a row. Not only back-to-back starts against the Yankees, but he's won back-to-back Cy Young Awards. He's as good as it gets. We've talked about it, but he is good. And different for me. It's like about him, hard. Well, he does have a high 90s fastball, but he also has a great changeup to go with it. You'll see a lot of strikeouts with that changeup as well. And what's ahead? I mean, who knows? Only 4 starts back after this weird surgery. Are the Tigers in it? Do they shop him out? Do they try to get get closer in the division? He is a free agent at the end of the year.
There's Goldschmidt with great numbers against Skubal, 7 for 13, 4 home runs. He has 4 leadoff home runs this season, and he had one against Skubal last week in Detroit. One and one. Skubal working quickly. And the lefty deals. High pop-up, shallow, left center. And the shortstop McKinstry makes the play. Here's the Tiger defense. Green, Outman, and Carpenter left to right. And in the infield, it's McGonigal, McKinstry, Lee, and Torkelson. Dylan Dingler behind the plate. Colt Keith is the DH. And Rosario takes a strike. He was a Yankee offense last night with a 3-run home run in the 8th inning, but that's all they could muster. Shattered bat, ground ball. McKinstry makes the play, and the barrel of the bat goes into the stands over the Tiger dugout.
I mean, what we got 2, 4, 6, 8 rows and the aisle, and that hit the wall. So that went up, 12 rows up. Fastball with a little cut right in on the label, and the barrel of the bat just left.
Ben Rice takes the ball. Last 10 games, Rice 4 for 39, 103. His average has gone from 294 to 269. Check the swing. You can't really pin this stretch on one player. It's lineup wide. Everybody is struggling, it seems. Driven deep to right field. There it goes. See ya. A long home run for Rice. He needed that. The Yankees needed that. They're on the board, and it's 4-1.
Rice gets him on the board, his 23rd of the year off a tough lefty and a no-doubter. But the Yankees somewhat feeling better. Like, we'll slug with you and see what happens there.
First home run since June 22nd. Breaking ball misses to Dominguez. And it's going to be challenged by Dylan Dingler. Presented by T-Mobile.
Pitch is a strike.
And he got the challenge right. Broken bat, popped up, shallow left. Riley Green comes on to make the play. So the Yankees get one back with a home run of their own. Ben Rice has been slumping. He just crushed that baseball from schoolboy. Lefty against lefty. Into the bleachers. Yankees have a run. It's 4-1 Tigers.
Not me. I had a 0 up there for the first inning at least.
James Outman will lead it off. And it's fouled away. Four to 1 Tigers. 1-1. You know, one of the fascinating things about Schlittler is that he does this essentially with the fastball. 3 different sorts of fastball, but a fastball. And you keep riding that until people catch on, and you wonder, are people catching on, and does he have to incorporate that curve a little more?
Well, he threw it there, and I think you're going to see a lot more of it because I think Matt Blake is going to say, hey, they're sitting all over your fastball. But if you look at the pitches that were hit out, they were mistakes, location-wise. The two-seamer got to the middle of the plate. The cutter, both of them, were spinning out over the middle of the plate. So they weren't thrown as well as Schlittler was able to throw.
3-2 on Outman, hitting 168, leading off the second inning. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him. Let's take a look at the arsenal of Cam Schlittler on StatCast 3D.
We've talked to it. I mean, this is coming into the game. You see the four-seam cutter and a sinker in the majority of his pitches, but I think you're going to see that little blue curveball a little bit more from now on.
Here's Hao-Yu Lee. And a strike.
Another guy that's been swinging the bat much better. I mean, their offense
Batter's
is
challenging the pitch.
way down in the league, and this is a challenge here.
Call the strike.
The pitch is a ball.
Tigers win that challenge. So the count goes from 0-1 to 1-0. A.J. Hinch with the victory last night. 1,000 victories in his career as a manager.
It seems like a whole boatload, but there's a lot of managers with 1,000 victories, huh?
'68 to be exact.
68 managers. Yeah, I would never guess that.
He's actually been the manager of the Tigers longer than he was a manager of the Astros. Two and two on Lee. Second inning, Tigers 4, Yankees 1. Checks the swing. Did he go? No. Said Lance Parrott. He didn't go. Another 3-2 count. Pitch. Right down the middle. Strike 3. Third strikeout for Schlittler.
Well, again, location. I mean, you've set that pitch up, and Lee, who's been swinging the bat much better. See that cutter right there, kind of holds his line, and then just right at the end finds the outside corner.
Another check swing, 1-1 on McGonigal. McGonigal started the game by striking out looking. Then Dingler with a fly ball to center, and Carpenter with a drive toward the Yankee bullpen. Jones got there, ball was in his glove, but it came out for a home run. Driven to left field. Schumann is there and makes the catch. On the warning track, 1-2-3 bounce back inning for Schlittler. We'll go to the bottom of the second. Prime, Angel City FC takes on the Orlando Pride in a can't miss matchup. Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern, only on Prime. Bottom of the second inning, 4-1 Tigers. Anthony Volpe will lead off against Tarek Skubal. And there's a strike. Anthony's had such an up and down season offensively. Just when you think, wow, he looks good. Now he's 1 for 17 again over his last 6 games.
Yeah, he has such a tendency to kind of change his mechanics. Once he starts hitting the ball well, and he gets a little bit underneath the ball, and it looks like he wants to add a home run or two to what's going on, and then he kind of takes a step back.
The other way and foul. Talking to a couple of MLB scouts before the game, and they said these next 4 games for Skubal are going to be the most scrutinized games of any player in the big leagues, because first of all, you wonder if the Tigers are going to trade him, and then if they do, is he going to be a difference maker? Is he the player that won 2 straight Cy Youngs, or is he somewhat compromised after the microsurgery that he had on his elbow. But he is being watched every single pitch as Volpe swings and misses. So he got the nanoscope procedure May 6th. Then, 12 days later, he threw his first bullpen. June 7th, first rehab start. Just amazingly quick. That's 32 days after surgery. And then his first big league start since the surgery, June 13th, 38 days after surgery.
And here's a guy that had Tommy John before he was even drafted. So it's that arm's taken some wear and tear over the years.
You know, if he's the schoolboy of old and the Tigers are out of it and they decide to trade him, he could be the difference for a team.
Well, you've got a good, solid team that's one, premier pitcher away from going all the way. I mean, he's your guy. There's no doubt about it. And he's pitched big game. He's been in playoffs, so you can trust what he does. It wasn't just 1 year. He won the back-to-back Cy Youngs, won the Triple Crown in I think 22 or 23.
And the thing that makes it a little bit of a gamble, first of all, he's coming off the nanosurgery. Second of all, he's a free agent at the end of the year. He's got the high-powered agent Scott Boras, and usually, he wants to see what the free market bears. So you might be getting him for just 2 months. So since 2024, second in wins, first in ERA, strikeouts, and opponents' OPS. First in wins is the Yankees. Carlos Rodon with 38. 2-2 to Caballero. Swing and a miss. There's that change.
Wow. I mean, that ball just disappears, and it's so hard to explain, but it is the exact same arm speed, the same slot, so you just look at it as a fastball and see that two-seamer just kind of going down and away, but just a great changeup. High leg kick. Everything's coming at you as a fastball, and it just disappears.
There's Spencer Jones. One of just 2 left-handers in the lineup against Skubal.
You can see Caballero fooled by a changeup. Watch this bat. It's going to go out in front and over that baseball while it sinks away.
Ground ball first base. Torkelson will beat the hustling Jones to the bag. And the Yankees go down in order against Skubal. We'll go to the third. And tonight's picture is of Cheryl, Carrie, and Lori. What a beautiful night at the stadium, last homestand. Use the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride and post your picture to social media to reflect your love for the Yankees, and we might spotlight you in a future game, like we did Cheryl, Carrie, and Lori. Mark Jones doing great work, great shots of the borough of the Bronx, where we are coming to you live here on Prime. Third inning, it's 4-1. Tigers over the Yankees. Tigers with 3 home runs against Schlittler in the first inning. So here's Dingler. And that one is off the hands and dunks into left field for a base hit. So Dingler leads off with a single.
You're seeing a team starting to turn it around offensively, and you're just having good at bat after good at bat. Sure, two-seamer in under the hands, but with enough of it to fight through it. Pull his hands in and just line it to left field.
Here's Kerry Carpenter. His home run started that first inning with 2 outs. Home run in and out of the glove of Spencer Jones. Driven to left field. Schumann will put it away. There's Riley Green. He hit a tank shot into the second deck in right field.
You can tell looking at him, Michael, most bats 32 inches long, 33, 34, 35. You can tell he uses a very short bat. Barry Bonds used a very short bat. It's very quick. Again,
that one is driven into right field again, and it's into the Yankee bullpen. A 2-run home run for Riley Green, and it's now 6-1 Tigers.
Well, we talked about Green's breakout offensive year last year, and he's having a great year this year. Second home run on the night that gives him 11, hitting over 290 now.
It's kind of hard to take in what we're watching, the way Cam Schlittler has always pitched, and 4 home runs against the Yankees young right-hander. And now at some point, Paul, you do wonder, do you get him out of there? You're down 6-1. Scooble's on the mound. Not saying that you can't come back, but are you maybe wasting bullets here?
Yeah, you never want to just push a guy having this type of year, just push him past to where, you know, you give up so many things where your confidence wavers at all, because we've talked about it earlier. When he takes the mound, as a fan, you're confident, and he shows his confidence. But tonight, location's off a little bit, and it just looked like Detroit had an unbelievable game plan about looking fastball every single pitch and starting a little early.
Came into the game with a 1.62 ERA. Right now it's 2.11.
Again, two-seamer. You're so used to seeing that right on the inside corner. That's right over the middle of the plate. He's talking about how short his bat is, and that's what happens. You're able to really get the bat head out extremely quick. That's a long swing, too.
Swing and a miss. Keith down on strikes. Now, if there's a reluctance to pull the plug on him early, it's because Brothers only gave you 1 2/3 yesterday. So you really used the bullpen so much so that they had to send down Yerry De Los Santos, and they called up Giovanni Cruz.
Well, it's going to be a welcome day off on Thursday. They've played a long string of games, and the way it's gone, it has not been good, and especially with the starters the last couple nights. Well, that's kind of advertised. You know, you're going to have to get them off the fastball, and you're seeing a lot more curves. Last pitch was a strikeout, was the first strikeout on the curveball, and then starts Torkelson off with another. You've got a couple pitches, you know, a couple curveballs. You can kind of waste that fastball up in the strike zone. See if he'll bite at that.
Did he go? Yes, he did. So Torkelson down on strikes, but Riley Green hits his second home run of the game. Tigers have 4 home runs as a team, and they have a 6-1 lead. NBA superstar Sabrina Ionescu to go undercover at her alma mater, the University of Oregon, to give basketball fans the surprise of a lifetime. Stream the newest episode of The Undercovers now, exclusively on Prime. "6-1 Tigers." Max Schumann will lead off, and he cracks one foul down the left field line. Well, the last 6 games, Paul, Yankee starters have put the team in early holes. 19 runs allowed in the first 3 innings of these games. Warren 4, Cole 4, Weathers 5, Schlittler 6. And this is an offense that's struggling the way it is.
Right, and you know, you talk about a total flip of what the team was doing 10 days ago, or you know, basically the last time Schlittler took the mound in Boston. I mean, the hitters were hitting, the pitchers were pitching. It was just a completely different team. But in a matter of days, it seems like everybody is starting to struggle a little bit.
Foul ball. Schlittler, 29 years old, and he took the loss in Wednesday's rubber game in Detroit by allowing 3 home runs, 2 to Goldschmidt, 1 to Dominguez, and the 3 home runs allowed tied a career high, and the other 5 games were all in 2021. Back-to-back Cy Young awards, and he broke an arbitration record with a $32 million salary for this year. And it was strange, he won back-to-back Cy Youngs, Paul, and he came in with a $32 million number, and the Tigers filed at $19 million. So there was like no midpoint that either side was going to agree on, and the arbitrator ruled in favor of the guys who won 2 straight Cy Youngs. 3-2. Fly ball right field. Carpenter. 1 out. So here's Sanchez. He's done well since being called up. 6 for 21, giving them more offense than they thought. Still has never hit a major league home run. There was a strike. Oh and 2. Six runs, 6 hits for the Tigers. 1 run, 1 hit for the Yanks. The 1 hit, home run off the bat of Ben Rice. His 23rd of the year.
You know, that answers some questions right there. That's 98 with his fastball, and you've seen the changeup that he features too. So the stuff is there. It's all about Skubal getting back to pitching and pinpointing these pitches.
Fouled away. In the 5 straight losses that the Yankees are in the middle of, they've scored 12 runs, a batting average of 127. So it's logged. Swing and a miss. Dialed it up to 98. 3rd strikeout for Skubal.
It looks like he was going to stick with that fastball. Everything hard in this count. Looks like Sanchez, you can speed his bat up by throwing the breaking ball or the changeup. So he stayed with the fastball the whole count.
So here's Paul Goldschmidt. 1-0. Goldschmidt with a pop up to short in the 1st inning. It's 2-0 on the Yankee first baseman. Leadoff hitter in the lineup. 7 for 14 lifetime against Skubal with 4 home runs. Just caught the outside corner.
When you break down every one of his pitches, above average changeup, great curveball, overpowering fastball. So it's very hard for him to have a night where he doesn't have one of them working, where he can get by. And the nights he has all 3 up, you might as well just not even take a bat up there.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 6-1 Tigers. Swing and a miss. And Goldschmidt goes down on strikes. Skubal has retired 7 in a row since the Rice home run.
Crucial step for Max Fried on his path back. First time on the mound facing live hitters, guys. 30 pitches right around there. 2 ups. He went 2 innings, and he faced 2 guys who will go on rehab tomorrow. Trent Grisham, Ryan McMahon. If all goes to plan, those guys will be activated Friday night here at this stadium. But for Fried, Aaron Boone saying he looked sharp. He was landing all his pitches. He looked effective. And if all goes to plan, you're looking over the weekend at Max Fried retaking the mound and going live once again. After that, anyone's guess, but the best guess for Aaron Boone would be a rehab assignment from there for Max Fried. Ryan McMahon was reflecting on facing him, saying, I faced him a lot in the National League, and it's never fun. And today wasn't fun. So when you get that check from Ryan McMahon, Max Fried's in a good place, guys.
I'll tell you what, Emmanuel, everybody that watched him was really, really impressed. But they're going to slow roll this because you got to build him up. He's been out over a month. You almost have to start from spring training. I'm not saying 6 weeks, but it's going to be a while.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at an ace-type pitcher, and he was their ace when Cole was out last year. So you want him to come back and be that guy, not come back here and go through the the rigors and training of becoming a starter. And your rotation is pretty set right now, so you're really in no rush. But the September run going into the playoffs, you're going to want Max Fried as part of that rotation.
Now, Paul, we've known each other a long time. I'm a glass half full guy.
Always.
So I look at it this way. Max Fried will go into the postseason. Maybe 18 starts rather than 31. He's going to be a fresh arm. That's a positive.
Sometimes an injury like that, you never want to see it, but in the end game, sometimes you can help. You're right.
Catcher's challenge in the pitch.
That's called the ball, so it's going to be challenged by Sanchez. And he just
pitch and strike.
To go along with the lines of that, the Dodgers last year really slow rolled their starting pitching. They did, and every one of them came in after long injury stays, and they pitched quite well in the postseason.
Well, you have to have the luxury of knowing you're going to get there, for one thing. And, Joe Girardi mentioned to me numerous times where he awfully thought about a 10-day, IL stint for a pitcher just for rest throughout the year to keep them for that time of year.
Three-2, ripped down the right field line, but hooking foul. Nice catch. Lee's on deck. You a little surprised Slitler's still out there?
Well, I think that he's pitching now. He's using his curveball a lot more. I think that Aaron Boone wants to keep him, pitch-wise, and try to end on a good note. If you could get a couple of zeros, then you feel much better about this start than if you would have pulled him, say, at the third inning.
And again, yesterday they had to get 7 1/3 innings out of the bullpen. And having that back-to-back games gets to be a little bit of a drain on the pen as Outman works a walk. Take a look at the bullpen budget. A lot of guys used yesterday. Duvall, Bird, Hedrick, Hill, Yarborough, and De Los Santos. And we predicted that with De Los Santos having to give them a couple of innings, he was of no use to them tonight, so they sent him down. And we mentioned earlier, Giovanni Cruz, who throws hard, replaced him in the bullpen. Two and 0.
To me, that really is the pitch he's really struggled with tonight, and that's the cutter. He's given up a couple home runs on it. He just hasn't had that sharp bite on the cutter tonight that you've seen all year.
Two and 1. Well, that four-seamer was 96. We've seen him at 99, sometimes 100 on that pitch. That was 97, but missed outside.
Yeah, that first inning, nearly 40 pitches, that takes a lot out of a hard-throwing pitcher. And, you know, pressure pitches, too. You're trying to keep your team in the game. Every pitch seems to get bigger and bigger.
Fly ball, center field. Jones will make the play. Heading back to first is Outman, 2 down. Here's Kevin McGonigal. One and 0. McGonigal 0 for 2 against Schlittler. And now Tim Hill is up. Misses with the backdoor breaking ball, 2 and 0. Fourth inning, 6-1 Tigers.
I guarantee Booney would love to see him finish an inning, just because, you know, it's kind of a confidence thing. But you can tell everything right now is not sharp.
Fly ball center field. Backing up is Jones. And he makes the play for the final out. No runs, no hits, no errors. A 1 man left on base. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Delivers, brought to you by Vanguard and Tarek Skubal. He's got it all working today. Got the fastball. He's got a really good changeup. Fastball he used exclusively against Sanchez. He's made one mistake, and that was the one that Rice hit into the seats in the 1st inning. So he gave up a home run. So 1 run, 4 strikeouts, no walks for Skubal as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Rosario, Rice, and Dominguez. And Skubal deals. There's a strike. So when Skubal was in high school, Paul, he met a Tiger scout before a game. And usually, you know, teenager, you might be 16, 17, and that puts a lot of pressure on you, knowing that there's a big league scout in the stands watching you. So how did he react? He went out and pitched a 14 strikeout perfect game.
Rest is history, is that what you're telling me?
Well, he's always been that guy, I guess. You know, we talked about the possibility of a team that's going to the postseason acquiring him. Last postseason in 20 2/3 innings, struck out 36 and had a 1.74 ERA. Swing and a miss.
And if you look at that count right there, it was an overpowering fastball. Showed a good changeup and then put him away with a good slider. So, I mean, he's got above average pitches in every part of his game. So that's why you understand why he's so good.
Here's Ben Rice. Wade did that pitch.
After swing like that, Michael, you see Ben Rice step out. It just, you got to clear things a little bit. You get right back in there. That last swing is in your mind, and this way you at least give yourself a chance.
100 miles an hour on that pitch. Let's take a look at the spectrum exit velocity on the Rice home run with 2 outs in the first. 102.3, and it traveled 395 feet. Strike 3. Rice down looking.
Well, Schoolboy has really settled in, obviously throwing a ton of strikes, but we saw the outside curveball. Now let's throw the front right at your right hip. Breaks right over the plate. Just phenomenal stuff, and he knows how to pitch.
4 straight strikeouts for Skubal, 6 on the game. Here's Dominguez. And a strike. Dominguez with a fly ball to left in the first inning. He's feeling it, Paul. His fastball sitting at 98, 99, 100. Now, we did not see that when he pitched against the Yankees in Detroit.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's a big effort either. He's not overthrowing. I mean, he set this one up for, you know, another breaking ball down and in, and now why not? Well, maybe we'll go to a changeup away just to, you know, make sure that I have feel of all my pitches at this point. He's headed up for that changeup away, just wasn't able to execute the pitch.
And a walk out to the mound by Dingler. Was up in the first inning, so in all likelihood he's going to pitch the 5th. Three and 2. Last day of June, the Yankees 12 and 13 in this month. So unless they rally, they'll finish under 500 for the month. Last 4 Junes, the combined record 50 and 52. But despite the prevailing thought, that's not their worst month since 2018. So 569 winning percentage in June. In July, it's 525. In August, 544. Swing and a miss. He is dealing. He strikes out the side. He struck out 5 in a row. We go to the 5th. Live Yankees games on Yes with the Gotham Sports app. You can purchase a subscription directly from the Amazon Channel store or download the app at gothamsports.tv and stream for free with an eligible TV subscription. All right, we go to the 5th inning, and Schlittler's still out on the mound. Maybe it's just for Dingler, and then Carpenter comes up, they'll bring in the lefty. Going to the curveball a lot more when it was very clear they were sitting on velocity and impacting that velocity. So came into the game with a 1.62 ERA. It's 2.08 right now.
You know, Schlittler has not had many games like this where he had to kind of change, you know, the way he goes about getting people out. But, you know, this is a learning thing where, you know, you get to this point again, all of a sudden you realize, hey, you know, they're on my fastball. My location's not perfect tonight. I might have to use my curveball a little bit more.
Fly ball into left center, and that's going to be off the wall. Played off the base of the wall by Jones. Fires in. It's a leadoff double by Dingler.
Did that sound like a broken bat?
It did.
Ball went off the bottom of the wall. Here comes Aaron Boone. That's going to be it. You were right, Michael. He was trying to get one more out.
The one thing that's a little concerning, the pitch before the double, his four-seam fastball was 94 miles an hour. I mean, he was really pushed tonight. He labored, struggled, which he's not used to doing, and he leaves one out, or one batter into the 5th inning. It's time for Call to the Bullpen, brought to you by Taco Bell. So the Yankees will go to Ryan Yarbrough with Carpenter due up. Schlittler's night is over. He's given up 6 runs. The runner at second, his responsibility in it. It was a slog for him, Paul.
Yeah, I mean, right there, that ball actually wasn't too bad. But then watch the rest of these, you know, middle of the plate. You're just not used to seeing his stuff in the middle of the plate, and it really cost him tonight.
So he's got to go over this game in his mind and on the video that I'm sure he'll look at. So 7 hits, 6 runs. Now 4 runs he gave up against the Red Sox unearned, but last 2 starts have been 10 runs across the plate while he was on the mound. 0-1 on Carpenter as Yarbrough's in. Tap, shallow left, coming on Schumann. He's there. 1 away.
Not only for this game, I mean, the Yankees down 6-1, but this would be a big thing for Yarbrough to be able to pick up, save this last run for Schlittler. I mean, there is pride out there of, you know, continually leading this league in ERA, and you know that's a confidence builder in itself. This is one he's just going to have to close the book on.
Riley Green, 2 home runs off of Schlittler. Solo shot and a 2-run shot. Tenth and 11th of the year. And that one is lined to right field. Dominguez will make the play. Hit well, but Dominguez hauled it in for out number 2.
Green had his first day off of the year yesterday, and boy, it seems like it's paid off. A couple home runs and a rocket right there to right field. Every once in a while, you just need a little break, and he has been struggling. Looks like he took advantage of it.
So here's Colt Keith. He was 1 for 2 against Schlittler. Scored a run. Single and a strikeout. So the way the lineup is constructed by Hinch, they are susceptible to a lefty coming in, as you have 3 in a row. And at the top, 4 out of 5. The only one hitting from the other side is Dingler. They've got 4 right-handers on the bench, but with a 6-1 lead, he's going to stay with the lefties. 1-1. Runner at second, 2 outs. We're in the 5th. It's 6-1 Tigers. Laid off that pitch. Pretty good take. 2-2. Right back to Yarborough. So he takes care of that runner at second for Slipper. We are halfway through. 6-1 Tigers. Cast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Through 4 innings against Schoolboy, Yankees have just 1 hit. And that hit, the home run by Rice with 2 outs in the 1st inning. So Volpe will lead off to start the bottom of the 5th. One thing that's becoming a little distressing when it comes to the Yankee offense. They were no hit into the 5th inning twice in Boston. They were no hit into the 8th inning by Sonny Gray in Boston. That one's bunted right back to Scooble. Yankees trying to get on any way they can. And then yesterday they had 1 hit against Mize in 7 innings. And I know the lineup is missing people, but you've got to do more than that.
Well, there was 1 inning yesterday when they were down in the game, and Jones led off for the double, a leadoff double. He never left second base. I mean, those are the things you can't do when, Aaron Judge, Stanton, Grisham, they're out of the lineup. I mean, you got to move guys over, get them in, somehow score a run here or there, which gets you an opportunity for the big home run. But it looks like the Yankees right now are looking for the big home run, and then if they get it, maybe they'll tack on. Well, that's a tough way to play baseball. And the worst case scenario tonight, Michael, is what we talked about before. It was to get down early. And when you get down early, then you start feeling the pressure of we're struggling offensively, and you got guys just kind of coming out of who they are personality-wise as hitters.
So in each of the last 4 games, Paul, they've had exactly 3 hits. And to tell you how unique that is, in the illustrious history of the New York Yankees that goes back to 1903, that's never happened, where they've had just 12 hits over a 4-game stretch in 1 calendar year. It's an amazing run right now for a team that was so stout offensively. Now, the one thing they've stayed away from today is the error. They've had 14 errors in the last 10 games, 3 of them by Caballero.
Yeah, I don't know if it was intentional, but sometimes a manager will do that. There was a lot of infield work early. When we got here early, a lot of guys out there working ground balls, picking balls at first, double plays, just your everyday infield plays. 2 guys that can help out right there if they get it going.
And they say he went around. So Caballero strikes out, 8th strikeout for Scooble.
We talk about that changeup, and boy, it sinks down and away. That's just great arm speed, and just a great delivery.
And Spencer Jones, he grounded to first in the 2nd. Big cut, 0-1. For the first 79 games of the season, the Yankees averaged 5.06 runs per game, fourth best in the majors. And in this 5-game losing streak, it's half of that. More than half, 2.4 runs per game. And they're slugging at 215. First 79 games, they slugged at 437. Second in the majors, just 1 point behind the Dodgers. So everything has kind of gone haywire. Starting pitching, defense, and lack of offense. And that leads to losses.
Yeah, consecutive losses, too.
Swing and a miss. 9 strikeouts for Skubal. We played 5 here at the stadium, and it's 6-1 Tigers. The way back, 6 starts in June, 6-0 record, 3.35. Brian Reynolds having an unbelievable year for the Pirates. 34-game on-base streak, during which time he's hitting .347, 7 homers and 20 ribbies. And Bryce Harper, red hot in his last 10 games with 5 home runs and 13 runs batted in.
Bryce Harper, I remember turning the TV on last Sunday, wasn't it? When he had the cycle against the Mets. And Schwarber had 3 home runs. He had the cycle.
I think that was Friday.
Okay.
I think so, yeah.
I know it was recently. Get my days mixed up, Michael.
I get it.
On vacation here. Well, we were talking about it last night. Philadelphia, all of a sudden, are you kidding? Right back in this thing.
Hit sharply and through for a base hit for Torkelson.
When you talk about the Yankees lineup, you know, it seems everybody kind of struggling. You're starting to see everybody in Detroit's lineup start to hit the ball. You could really see them going on a tear right here in the next couple weeks.
Here's McKinstry. Tiger pitchers have turned it around in June, a 3.19 team ERA. That's the lowest in the American League. His ground ball is second. And he throws it away. Caballero throws it into left field. Torkelson coast into third. Schumann will get the ball in. So what looked like it could be a double play turns into an E4, and this crowd is starting to get a little restless as they are booing the Yankees.
Yeah, Caballero had to go a lot to his left. So, you know, you got to really take the double play out of your mind and either go to first base or take your time and get one. So he's trying to get his feet set, everything to really try to turn two, where it was just too hard of a play. Ended up getting none.
So now 15 errors in the last 11 games, and 4 of them by Caballero. Deep fly ball right field, and that ball is gone as Outman goes yard. A 3-run shot, and it's all turning ugly here in the Bronx.
Honestly, there'd be days like this, right, Mike?
There've been too many in a row.
That's the only problem. Yankee fans could take it for a day or two, just not a week. Might as well get it all out of the way here. That was really effective on lefty. It's kind of hung a slider right over the middle of the plate. The way things are going for Detroit, they're not going to miss it.
9-1 Detroit. Swings through a changeup, does Lee. .21 unearned runs allowed in the last 11 games. He allowed 22 in the first 74. Volpe gets Lee for the first out. A little bit of a sarcastic cheer by the Yankee crowd.
You felt that too.
Yeah. I didn't sense it was heartfelt. So here's Kevin McGonigal. And a strike. See all the close-up shots, and you wonder, what's going through their minds? What are they stressing over?
It was not very good body language on most of those pictures. It's just like, here we go again. Nobody feels worse than these couple guys knowing that they can't grab a bat and help.
There's actually a little glimmer of positive news about Judge. Boone said today that Judge feels better, where he had been in pain and he's starting to feel better. So in a couple of weeks they're going to do another imaging to see exactly where the healing is or where it's gone. But the fact that the pain has subsided would indicate that there is some healing going on.
Well, I mean, that's the first thing, is you've got to get away from anything hurting, so you can go through, getting back to where you are mechanically, hitting, running, throwing. But if you start anytime too soon, you re-aggravate it, and the next thing you've set you back another couple weeks.
And the thing that's tough about this injury for Judge, he can't do anything upper body-wise. Can't swing a bat, can't lift weights, can't jog either because you're jostling the rib. So fly ball down the right field line. Coming on is Dominguez, and he makes the play in foul territory. He could ride the bike, the stationary bike, but he can't jostle himself. He can do lower body work, but nothing in the upper body. So when he's healed, he's starting from square one.
Yeah, ribs are a painful thing. I remember them well. And there's nothing you can do in life, getting out of bed, anything hurts.
I'll try Dominguez again. And he makes a catch for the final out. But 3 more runs, another home run, another error. It's 9-1 Tigers. To celebrate the country's 250th birthday and get a special Yankees cap. First 18,000 guests in attendance receive a red, white, and blue Yankees cap, courtesy of Baby Ruth. Tickets going fast, so get your tickets today at Yankees.com. 8-9-1 for the Yankees here in the bottom of the 6th inning. They're down by 8. And Schumann fouls off the offering from Skubal, 0-1. One base runner for the Yankees, and he didn't stay on base, and that was Ben Rice. He jogged around the bases with a home run. So Skubal doesn't know how to work out of the stretch.
We talked about Skubal and his back-to-back Cy Youngs. What happened in 1908 on this day of baseball?
No.
Really? You want me to tell you?
Please.
Cy Young threw a no-hitter against the New York Highlanders. It's his 4th. He was 41 years old in his last one.
Max Schumann hit by a pitch.
He's got a fact for the day to take home.
I love it. So that hit by pitch stops a streak of 13 straight retired by Skubal. Giovanni Cruz heating up for the Yanks. So here's Sanchez. Sanchez struck out in the third. 9 strikeouts and no walks for Skubal. About just 1 hit. One and one. Grounded up the middle and under the glove of McKinstry into center field. Schumann will go to third, and it's first and third for the Yankees. Nobody out.
Well, McKinstry made a tremendous play. He is a super utility guy. Made a great play last night at shortstop. This ball just gets under his glove. Ball that would have easily been a double play with Sanchez running.
They're going to score that an error. No, now a hit. I figured it was a hit. That would have been a tough error. Yankees' second hit. And that'll bring up Goldschmidt. Now, I told you that Goldschmidt came into the game 7 for 13 against Skubal. Did you ever have those kind of numbers against a great pitcher that even you were like, why is this happening?
I remember, I think that was some crazy number. Remember Jose Mason? Really tough closer. I think it was 8 for 9 or something. It just made no sense to me because I didn't want to go face him. Well, he was good. But then guys that you felt comfortable with, all of a sudden you look at the numbers, it's like 1 for 18. What do you mean, what happened?
Now, Manuel, you caught up with Goldschmidt and asked him that question, right?
I did, and after last week in Detroit, Goldschmidt said, I have no idea why I'm hitting Tarek Skubal this well. He just hoped the fortune kept going in his direction. Today, he said, I just keep it simple. You don't look for anything see ball, hit ball.
Let's see if this is 2. There's 1. And there's 2. A run does score. But 2 outs on 1 pitch by Skubal, and now it's 9-2.
At this point in the game, Skubal will definitely give up a run to get a double play and a couple outs. Clearly got him to first base and almost.
Yeah. Twisted his ankle.
But it's watch the step past the base because you get off stride and then you kind of just stomp that foot, and that's where you can hurt stuff.
Now strike to Rosario. He's 0 for 2. Did he go? No, he did not.
By reaching, you're off stride there, and then watch this second step. You just kind of put everything out of whack. And that's where you can hurt calves, ankles, everything. And spikes don't give very much when you're hitting the dirt.
So 2-2 on Rosario. 9-9-0 for the Tigers. 2-2-1 for the Yankees. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. On deck, Ben Rice. Skubal at 85 pitches. Popped up. Torkelson in foul territory. 3 outs, and that'll do it. 1 run, 1 hit, no one left. Tigers, and that leads us to...
How about that?
How about that? Known for absurdly fast mental math skills and even helped friends as a math tutor in school. He and his wife Lauren, a former Texas softball player, went viral for cage dates, where she pitched to him in batting practice and took a part-time job at Dick's Sporting Goods after the 2020 minor league season was canceled. I would enjoy working at Dick's Sporting Goods.
You know what? I worked at Agler Davidson in Columbus, Ohio in the minor leagues.
And what was that?
It was a sporting goods store.
Yeah?
That's $600 a month you made in the minor leagues. It just didn't quite cut it, you know?
Will you make it more at the sporting goods store?
Probably.
Did Neville ever pitch your batting practice?
I was just going to say, can you see our wives in the cage throwing BP to us? Huh? You're all Charlie's private batting practice.
I throw to him. Giovanni Cruz comes on. He was called up today after the Yankees had to go 7+ out of the bullpen yesterday, so he replaces De Los Santos on the roster. Nope, they say it was a foul tip. But Sanchez saying, I caught that on the fly.
We'll see here.
No, he didn't.
You saw some dirt there. It's close.
Now he swings and misses, so a strikeout of Carpenter.
Look at that splitter. Just dead, almost like Cruz's. The other Cruz. With that knuckleball action just going down and away.
Riley Green. And a strike. Cruz has a big arm. He throws hard. Has some trouble holding base runners. One and one. Hey, look at the Tigers. They're really a flagship franchise in the MLB. Been around forever. And they have just 4 championships. 1935, 1945, 1968, and 1984. In 84, they got off to a 35-5 start, never looked back. And down goes Green, 2-1.
Remember back in 1968, they beat the favored St. Louis Cardinals. I think Mickey Lolich won 3 games in that series and threw a complete game on 2 days rest to beat Bob Gibson. That's I don't know that happened today. What do you think?
Complete game? No.
Complete game on 2 days rest.
Here's Keith. Foul back. So good inning for Cruz as Rosario drifts back. And he makes the play in front of Schumann for the final out. So the Tigers go down in order, 1, 2, 3. At the end of 6½, it's all Tigers as they lead 9-2. It's time for the 7th inning stretch. And we will stay right here as we honor America in the Bronx.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you rise and remove your caps? And please direct your attention to the area behind home plate as the New York Yankees welcome an honored military guest. United States Marine Corps Private Anthony Gonzalez from Brooklyn, who served in Vietnam. The Yankees say thank you, Anthony, for your sacrifice and for your service to our nation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please join us by singing along with Robert Merrill's rendition of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
It's been all Tigers from the very first inning on. 9-9-0 for Detroit. 2-2-1 for the Yankees. Skubal, 9 strikeouts, no walks in 6 innings. Riley Green, 2 home runs against Schlittler. Schlittler pitched into the 5th inning. 7 hits, 6 runs, the most in his career, and 4 home runs. We'll see what Ben Rice did. Final phase of the 2026 Konami eBaseball MLB All-Star Ballot now live. Scan the QR code to vote or visit MLB.com/vote. Ben Rice still very much in play to start at first base in the American League. Vlad leads 55% to 45%. Jacob Waguespack will take over for Skubal. And here's Rice with his 23rd home run against Skubal. That was in the first inning. And there's a strike. There's a strike. 2-2. Rice, Dominguez, and Volpe.
Trying to figure the upper deck up there tonight, Michael. The soccer fans are back over here.
I think there might be. Strike 3. Rice down looking. And on the third base side of the upper deck, they've got a lot of shirtless fans, which is a new thing around Major League Baseball. Tarps off, it's called.
That's who I was talking about.
Yeah.
So that's the new fad at the baseball game.
Yeah, luckily not in the broadcast booth.
It'd be an ugly sight to see up here with no shirts on. Huh?
Well, on my end, yeah. 2-0. The diamond from above.
It's like a sad ballpark tonight, the way things are going, huh?
2-1. I think what we're hearing is a very restless fan base that they haven't had a lot to cheer about, specifically looking at tonight. So they're kind of entertaining themselves with chants. Line into right field, and is going to play it on a hop. So Carpenter gets it in, and Dominguez with a single.
Up in the strike zone, I mean, mechanics-wise, to hit this pitch, you got to be doing something good. So a good swing from Dominguez.
Volpe fouls it back. Volpe's over 2. Tried to bunt his last time up and bunted right back to Skubal, who made the throw to first. Pitch upstairs by Wagaspat. The righty deals. Gets the fastball by him, 1-2. Anthony out 1 for his last 19. Now the hit that was given to Sanchez has been changed to a fielder's choice, E6 on McKinstry. So if you're keeping score at home, you can note that. And it turns into an unearned run. That's a strange hometown scoring decision. Why would you take a hit away from a hometown player when it wasn't a glaring error? It's a play he should have made. Soft ground ball. There's one on to first. Not in time. You know, when you talk to players on either the Yankees or the Mets, they feel that the official scoring is so down the middle in New York, and then they see in other cities where it is so not down the middle and everything seems to be scored a hit. But they feel here it's legitimate, but they kind of would want some of that home cooking.
I've seen it for years. It is really amazing. It's some of the ballparks. For instance, I remember John Overwood, don't get me wrong, was having a phenomenal year. Up in Toronto, was hitting 400 for the first part of the year. If he put the ball in play, it was a base hit. I mean, he chopped balls, they kick him into the stands, and the next thing you know, he's on first with a base hit. I would just scratch my head in right field.
I mean, in a perfect world, you'd like the way it is in New York, but New York players see around the league where it's not like that, and some of the scoring is glaring in favor of the home team, and they wonder, well, why do we have to have the good official scores?
Be the next thing, you're gonna right by the umpire's room, you're gonna have a scoring guy, you know, that comes in for the game, you know, that's unbiased.
I would not be shocked if that's changed back to a hit at some point. It's not. Right now it's an E6, but I wouldn't be shocked.
I've seen, all right, so it's been turned over once.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever seen one turned over twice. But it's always a first, right?
This could be it. Soft ground ball. They get the force, and that'll do it. No runs a hit. One man left on base. We go to the 8th. Tough one. 237, 1,570 hits, 124 home runs. So I started with the Angels, played with the Yankees in 80 and 81, finished with the White Sox. A lot of time with the Tigers.
I got last night, Mike. Well, I'm off tonight. It's all you. At 1,500 hits, so I guarantee you're going to know his name.
Tigers 71 to 79.
Whitaker and Trammell. When did they start?
Catcher's challenge in the pitch.
They were in the 80s.
Well, they might have come into the
Pitch is a strike.
challenges right, so that's strike 3. Well, they were on the 84 championship team. I'm not sure when they were called. Might have been at the end of 70s. But they had better numbers than that.
No, I'm just thinking of that infield. If you got Trammell and Whitaker, you know, who was playing third? Who was playing first? Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out.
McKinstry, fly ball to left, and coming on Schumann to make the play. So Whitaker and Trammell came up in 77, and they stayed till 95.
Okay, look at those numbers. That many hits with 120 home run. I'm looking at an infield.
I think you're looking at a third baseman.
Yeah, yeah. That's my guess, and I can't picture who was playing third base with Whitaker and Trammell.
And then he was the Yankees in 81 on the 81 World Series team.
You know what? I'm going to call Willie. I bet Willie'd know. Willie Randolph.
I'm sure.
We shoot him a quick text. Willie, if you're listening, shoot me the answer, would you? I'm phoning a friend.
Wow. I can see him, and I just can't come up with the name. Told he had a good, strong mustache.
Works at W.B. Mason.
Could be. 1-2. Chop toward first. And Goldschmidt beats Outman to the bag, so a good 2 inning for Giovanni Cruz. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Prime next Wednesday to take on the Rays, a big 4-game series. That'll be game 3. Don't miss a minute of the Yankees beginning at 6, only on Prime. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th inning. 9-9-1 beating 2-2-1. Spencer Jones against Waguespack. So 0-2.
The batter's challenging the pitch.
And Spencer Jones trying to get the attention of Estabrook. Challenges.
Pitch is a strike.
The Yankees down to 1 challenge. I think I have the answer, Paul.
Oh, yeah.
What a great shot. One and two. Jones
Catcher's
0 for 2
challenging
tonight.
the pitch.
And now Dingler is going to challenge. They get strike 3.
Pitches the ball.
Wow. Can it get closer without being a ball? Wow, 1/10 of an inch. Swing and a miss. Jones down on strikes. So here's Schumann. One out in the 8th inning. And you look up and it's hard to believe they have 2 hits again.
Yeah, it's very consistent. Isn't
Oh
it?
my goodness.
And it's not like they're hitting balls hard at people either. It's just the way it is right now offensively.
Each of the last 4 games have gotten 3 hits in each game. And it's not a gimme tomorrow. Troy Melton has pitched well for the Tigers. He's getting the start 4-1, 2.39 against Will Warren. Coming off a rough outing in Boston. High fly ball right field. Carpenter will put it away to retire Schumann. Those are the numbers, and our coverage will begin at 1 p.m. on Yes with first pitch around 1:35. So here's Sanchez. You do wonder when the frustration boils over if you do get some kind of explosion from Boone. And I'm not saying he's going to do it on the post-game press conference, but maybe he just loses it in the clubhouse, you know, try to wake people up. Who knows if that works? I think that's a fan-driven thing, but you've been in that room. When a manager who doesn't yell yells, does it get your attention?
Certainly it does, and if he's got a reason to yell, you can tell if it's genuine or if we're just doing this because we need to do something. I remember there were times like this where, you know, Joe Torre, I thought, had the most impactful meetings ever where, you know, he closed the door and he didn't really know what to expect. And it was a kind of like a pat on the back. Hey, you know what? We're going to turn this thing around, but we're going to turn it around tomorrow. We're not going to turn it around next week. The cream, I always forget, I always remember the cream's going to come to the top. And by the end of this meeting, you were ready to run through the door, and not a word was spoken loud. It was just, you know what, it instilled a little belief that tomorrow was going to be a much better day.
So it really wasn't negative. It was more positive reinforcement.
You know, I'm not losing sight of where we're going. I'm not losing sight of this team. I'm not losing belief in this team. But that's if you're not just going through the motions. You know, if you're not hustling balls and you're making errors and things like this, then you might get to close the door and hear some rumbling in there. But there are times where you just play bad baseball, and it's not like you're trying. You just play bad baseball.
High fly ball, right field. Carpenter is there and puts it away. As the Yankees go down in order in the 8th, we go to the 9th. Tigers up by 7. Here are the clues again. And the answer is Aurelio Rodriguez.
Glad you got that one, Michael. I was pulling up blanks.
He was a pretty good third baseman. Obviously hung with the Tigers for a while. Good.
Nice
button
shot.
Huh?
Yeah. There's old Tiger Stadium. I still miss that place, Michael. I love it.
And then he played with the Yankees. Remember, he had a good arm. Aurelio Rodriguez. Jake Bird comes on. Now, talk about meetings, and you see he won the Gold Glove in '76. Good throwing arm. And in the 1981 World Series, it was 5 for 12. Nettles injured his left thumb in Game 2. Yankees lost that series to the Dodgers. We're talking about meetings and managers, and we see Old Tiger Stadium, and I distinctly remember the Yankees were in a little bit of a slide. And in the Old Tiger Stadium, which was a very small clubhouse. Lined into left field. It's a base hit for Lee. And, they had the post-game spread out. Remember the clubhouse guy's name was Rip, I think?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And Billy came in, Billy Martin, and flipped the table over. All the food was on the filthy rug where people tramped through with, dirt in their spikes. And, he's red hot. And then the media saw it, too.
Right.
And then Rip just slowly picked up stuff and put it right back in the pots, and people were eating it. I'll never forget that people dug in and just ate.
Well, to add to that story, so Lou Piniella must have learned
From Billy?
from Billy, because we had one of those meetings, and I walked in for the spread, and then Lou came just crashing in and absolutely punted.
Line drive and just past the leaping Volpe. A base hit from McGonigal.
Absolutely just picked up and punted one of the turkeys. And I'm not kidding, Mike. I'm not making this. I'm standing in the corner here comes some shrapnel, and I'm holding the plate. And I get half a turkey leg, just lands on my plate. Before it went over, I just started taking bites of it.
Wow.
Seeley was probably part of that blow up from Billy, and learned it.
Flipping the table was a big deal, and you hear about it a lot now, but I just don't think it's the same sport in that way.
No.
I don't think the players are the same way. I don't think you're going to freak out players if you flip the...
Nope.
And also, the food now is really expensive that they serve.
They got private chefs down there,
Popped up. Who's going to get it? Is Bird going to get it? Yes, he is.
Well, you see something new every day, Michael. A pitcher catching one on the mound. Is that allowed anymore?
So here is Kerry Carpenter. First and second now, 1 out. Let's see if they turn 2. There's 1 and there's 2. And the runner takes out Volpe, who said everything's cool. We go to the bottom of the 9th. The Tigers, 1:35 first pitch will be on yes. Thursday's an off day. Then the Twins come to town for 3. And then the Yankees hit the road again. And boy, there's that 4-game set against Tampa Bay. Loomed very large. Last time I looked, Tampa Bay winning again tonight. So while the Yankees are slumping, Tampa Bay is rolling off wins. And then they finish that road trip in the first half of the season with 3 in D.C. against the Nationals. Well, announced crowd of 37,211. Not much to cheer about. as they go to Tyler Holton to get the final 3 outs for the Tigers. Pitching duel, certainly we played it up that way, and it certainly seemed that way on paper. But before we even settled into our seats, 3 home runs allowed by Cam Schlittler, and then a home run in the first inning allowed by Skubal. And it was just one of those nights for the Yankees, and the Yankee offense couldn't get anything working. 2 hits so far through 8 innings. And it'll be the top of the Yankee order. 0-1 on Goldschmidt, who was 0 for 3 against Skubal tonight. So unless they have an unlikely rally, the Yankees will have lost 6 straight games. And they'll finish the month of June 12-14. Tapped out to first base. Torkelson flips to Holton. 1 down. There's Ahmed Rosario. Rosario 0 for 3. He had the 3-run home run in last night's game. Now, the Yankees had been a tremendous team against left-handed starters until the middle of June, and I think the injuries really started to take hold, and their lefty batters, who are so good against left-handed pitching, they started to struggle against southpaws as well. And now, when a lefty's on mound, and they're seeing a lot of lefties, Red Sox had 3 against them. I think they're going to struggle a lot, because if you look at this lineup, it's not a daunting lineup at this point.
Well, 2 of your big bats are Bellinger and Rice, and you're right. When you're struggling, you usually struggle even more against lefties. It's a tougher at bat, lefty on lefty. That's why it's always a graphic of ours of how well our lefties hit lefties. Well, when you're struggling, it makes it that much difficult.
Now, Bellinger did not start today, hasn't played. First day out of the lineup since April 23rd. He played 59 games in a row. And in the last 12 games, 5 for 41, that's 122, with no RBI. So very unlike Cody Bellinger, as Rosario works a walk. And Boone admitted, he said, I liked the at-bats I saw from Bellinger in Boston. I just thought he was hitting a little bad luck. He said, but yesterday, the at-bats didn't look good, so that's why I gave him today off.
Yeah, he took a couple pitches late in the count that were strikes, and you just don't see that. And a lot of times that's mechanics where you're kind of freezing yourself. Just looks like he's not quite getting set early enough, where if you rush stuff, you just can't catch up to a pitch right there that you're accustomed to hitting.
They're not holding Rosario on. There he goes. That one's popped up. And Green puts it away as Rosario heads back to first. The Yankees are down to their final out. There's Dominguez, 1 for 3. Dominguez single, Rice's home run. The only hits by the Yankees in this game. Pitch outside. Runner goes, he'll take second base. Defensive indifference. Shallow right field. Are they going to be able to get it? Diving and not making the play is Carpenter. Scoring is Rosario. So Dominguez gets a bloop single and an RBI. And now the Tigers lead by 6, 9-3. Yankees' 3rd hit of the night, 2nd for Dominguez.
Well, blooper down the line. Good effort. Just didn't quite love it to the point where we could keep it in there. Kind of turned it over in the grass. But Rosario on the move scores easily for an RBI.
Here's Volpe, 0 for 3. Ball fouled back as Dominguez was going. Another foul ball, 0-2. Yankees down to their final strike. Holton deals. Way outside. I think Dominguez ran out of gas there because he didn't go on that pitch.
Indifference or not, he wasn't going.
Did he go? Nope. 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the 9th. Corner goes. Foul ball. And the pitch. Line drive, and it's a base hit. Dominguez will go to third. And it's significant because it's the first time in 5 games the Yankees have had more than 3 hits. That's the 4th hit for the Yankees.
Kind of an odd swing. Ball kind of gets in on him, and he kind of just fights it off and goes the other way, but it does find a hole.
So quick meeting on the mound with Holton, and that brings up Caballero. Caballero's 0 for 3, and he's quietly gone into a little bit of a slump. 5 for 36. Not holding Volpe on at first, so he'll take off. There he goes. And a strike to Caballero. 0-1. Second and third, 2 outs. And that's going to be challenged by Caballero.
The batter's challenging the pitch.
From up here, it looked outside. We'll see what it looks like on the computer.
Pitches the ball.
Outside. So instead of 0-2, it's 1-1.
It's close, too.
Two and 1. Missed with the change. Once again, down to their final strike, 2-2. Runners lead. Foul back to the screen. Yankees trying to rally here in the bottom of the ninth. Will it be too little, too late? Skubal started Waguespack, and now Tyler Holton. Two-two. Popped up. Torkelson. And that'll do it. As the Tigers beat the Yankees 9-3, and the losing continues. They have lost 6 straight games with a very, very anemic offense, and the starting pitching continues to struggle as well.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty, Michael. You knew from the first inning that Cam was having issues, which you seldom ever see, and Skubal, tough character. So getting behind didn't help him, but close the book. Hot day game tomorrow.
Yankees will try to salvage the final game of this 3-game set. 9-11-1, beating 3-4-1. Took 2 hours and 38 minutes. Skubal evens up at 4-4. Schlittler with his 5th loss. Well, special thanks to producer Troy Benjamin, director Dan Barr, Mike Webb, and the executive producer is Jared Ames Bosnack. Don't forget to join us again next Wednesday when the Yankees head to the Trop for a key divisional matchup against the Tampa Bay Rays. Coverage begins at 6 p.m. on Prime, with first pitch coming just after 6:30. For more coverage of tonight's game, tune into the YES Network for the WB Mason postgame show. Once again, the final score: the Detroit Tigers 9 and the New York Yankees 3. For Paul O'Neill and Emmanuel Barbari, I'm Michael Kay saying see ya from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Have a good night, everybody. So long.